Hi, welcome to Prescott, Arizona. This is Laurie McCampbell, and she has been a friend for several years. I actually met her in Absorki, and she moved back down here to Prescott, and she is full of surprises. So we are going to let her tell you who she is, where she's going.
Hi everybody, so glad to be with you, and obviously I'm always excited to be with sister number one, my dear friend Maurrie, who I met in Absorki and Red Lodge in Montana, and it's so wonderful to be able to be with her and you two. So I am Sister 7731, and I began having an interest in Sisters on the Fly about 4 years ago. And I just loved everyone that I met. They were just such great women and so full of spirit and adventure. And I believe since then that what Sisters on the Fly offers is not only adventure and sisterhood and support, but it also offers you the opportunity to meet and connect with other sisters all over the country and the world. And when you need support, they're there for you. And we're very, very blessed to have all of you with us, to be able to facilitate the connections that happen when you're with each other. As far as me, I've been a photographer. I lived in Alaska for 15 years. I lived in Montana for 5 years. And now I am embarking on a new project, which I started about a year ago, making my first documentary of a 92-year-old Holocaust survivor that lives here in Prescott, Arizona. Her name is Esther Basch. What I love about her story is the message of forgiveness that she brings to the table. As many of us in our lives often find ourselves in a place of wanting to forgive, we find ourselves often in the place of looking for forgiveness and being able to forgive in our own lives. So what I love about her story is that even though she experienced some terrible, awful, tragic circumstances, she is able to forgive, and she's able to spread her message of forgiveness into the community and into the world. And we were working on a documentary, and it is called The Honey Girl. So it's very exciting that at almost 60 years old, this will be my first production. I sit as executive director, and I'm learning all the time.
I met her with a pool cue. So I was sitting at the 5-spot bar having a beer.
One of my favorite places, by the way.
Having a beer, and she jumps on the chair next to me and introduces herself to me, and she's got her in the pool cue. And she would come down, she lived right in the neighborhood, and she just would go play pool every day, just to teach herself and learn. So she's one of those that is constantly learning.
Well, it was interesting because I started as a poor kid in Mississippi, eldest of 5 children and a family of 7. And I, through the grace of God or whatever, eventually our family moved to Phoenix, and I decided I wanted to get myself to college, which I did, and I was the first woman in our family to graduate from college. And I got a degree in photography, and my senior year, a photographer that lived in Tempe, Arizona, invited me to internship with him, producing film, prints, everything you can think of And at some point, he asked me to fly for him because he couldn't do it in a helicopter in La Jolla, California. My first time ever doing it. And I was just so amazed that I was getting paid to fly around in a helicopter and take pictures. And I did that for about 7 years all over the Northwest, Southwest, and California. And so it just gave me a great sense of what landscape is, how to do all that, and all it takes to measure up and be all that. So it was one of the most exciting times of my life. I do miss flying around in helicopters because it's amazing, I must tell you.
I'm sure that it is. So.
I was about, this was when we lived in Phoenix, and I was about 18 years old, and I told my father I wanted to go to college. And at the table with all of the family around, he forbid me to go to college. And he said, "You're just going to get married and have babies anyway. Why do you need to go to school?" The next morning, with my sisters pulling at me, I climbed out of the bedroom window of our house and I ran away and started on the path to getting an education, which I finally did from ASU.
So this is her little Shasta.
This is a 1965 Shasta, which I got from Sister Bev Harrison about 2 years ago down in Coolidge. And she needs some TLC. I wish I had a Cindy Shoecraft up here to help me get it done because she knows everything to do. But it's a good little trailer. It's easy to pull, and it has just what you need, except for a toilet. Although I do have a honey pot.
So, but while telling me that, I said, "Well, is this your first trailer?" No. I flipped one and my car.
I've made every mistake you can. Well, no, hopefully not every mistake, but quite a few mistakes in hauling trailers and having a trailer. And it is something, that is a learning curve. Learning to back her up, always a stressful thing. Learning how to tow, learning how to load it so that it's heavy on the axles, making sure your hitch is really on.
So I came up and we were going to go have lunch with
Esther Basch.
Esther Basch's granddaughter.
Well, we're going to have lunch with Esther Basch, the Holocaust survivor.
Oh my gosh, I get to meet her. She's 92.
And we get to have lunch with her daughter, Rachel. Esther is about 92. Rachel's around 77. She just had a birthday. And they're all about education on the Holocaust. And so we get to meet up with them today. They're fabulous women, really strong, just like all of our sisters are incredibly strong women. And that is part of the beauty of being involved in this group. And so I'm grateful for all of our sisters, the ones that show up to events, the ones that reach out to others and just find out how they're doing. Sometimes it means so much just to pick up the phone and say, "Hey, how are you?" And just have that sisterhood. It doesn't always have to be camping. It doesn't always have to be fishing. It's just being about being present and giving a shit. Caring. Checking in on your sisters, just like you would with any friend that you have. If you see on Facebook that they're having a hard time, try to connect with them. Sometimes it is just the right moment. And it means so much to the other person on the other end of the line, even though you may never have met, that a sister is reaching out to them in love and concern.
Good. Our fire is
going out.
It's going out, so that must mean we're supposed to shut out.
That must mean it's time to go have lunch. But I do want to say I am so grateful to Maurrie and Becky and Mazzy for putting this group of women together. It is an incredible group to be part of. And I encourage every one of you to reach out to your sisters. Go out, even if you've never done it before, try once. Once you get to where the other sisters are, they'll help you out. And you will not be on your own. You just have to get there.
Yeah, it's so fun. It is. And that's all we have to say about this. Bye. See ya.